Go ask me, how do you unfuck yourself? How do you unsedate yourself? You replace the dopamine hit you were getting from whatever was sedating you with something that's positive, with something that works, with something that's constructive. So, and sometimes that dopamine hit isn't quite as significant as the initial hit of heroin you just took, right? But over the course of time, once you sort of lessen your need for that dopamine hit of off or of drinking or of your drugs or whatever else it is, once you can stop that, the easier way to do that is to replace it with something that's positive. Now, I've always said, go listen to Lamb of God, right? At at 10, level 10, right? Because that's what I did. Like when I decided I didn't want to drink anymore, and I started going, then I started doing things that made me feel good, but were good for me, right? So you're replacing one habit with another, a good habit with a bad habit, like for like, really, the dopamine hit for dopamine hit. So now remember, some dopamine hits are easier to achieve than others, and some are more intense than others. And that's the real trick right there. When guys break up with a girl, or vice versa, but usually guys, when guys break up with a girl, the feeling of love or infatuation or sexual arousal or whatever you want to call it has a similar characteristic or similar chemical signature to like cocaine, right? Like this seemed like probably 10 different TED Talks about this. There's actually biochemical reactions for love and for sex, right? When that's removed, what do? It's gone. Now I'm got to write bad poetry. I'm going to become a blues musician. No, you know what most guys do? They go get blackout drunk. Why? Because it's a substitute for the good feelings, or at least they think so. In the most immediate sense, they go and they get there with the boy. I'm going to drink her off my mind, right? But you're not, because tomorrow morning you're going to wake up with a hangover, feel like shit, and you're still going to be depressed. But what's the initial? What's completely unmetered? That's what guys will do. They're going to go get drunk or get high, whatever it is. Then I'll go, hey, you know what? Let's go rock climbing. Let's go. Some guys do go lift a little bit more, maybe. But replacing a bad sedation with the dopamine hit from a good something that's more productive for you.